Tesla had their earnings call yesterday, and there was a big announcement regarding full self-driving unsupervised with Hardware 3 versus Hardware 4.
And then will Hardware 3 be capable of level 5 FSD?
There is some chance that Hardware 3 does not achieve the safety level that allows for unsupervised FSD. There is some chance of that. And if that turns out to be the case, we will upgrade those who have bought Hardware 3 FSD for free.
For anybody that doesn't know, Hardware 4 is the newer computer, which is a lot more powerful. It has a lot more space, it has a lot more memory. However, Hardware 3 is in the vast majority of all of the Tesla vehicles. To know if you have Hardware 3 versus Hardware 4, you have to know when your Tesla was manufactured. If your Tesla was manufactured between about March 2019 to about June 2023, then most likely you're going to have Hardware 3 in your vehicle. You can also look at the front cameras on the windshield. If you see a red glare, also on the side repeater cameras, if you see a little red glare, that means it is Hardware 4. Those are the high resolution cameras that are now on the newer vehicles. So what was the announcement? The announcement was that Hardware 3 may not be capable to drive at the same safety level as Hardware 4, which would be required by the regulators to drive autonomously on the public roads. Now, this is a big if. The plan all along was for Hardware 3 to be able to achieve fully autonomous driving.
All cars being produced have all the hardware necessary, compute and otherwise, for full self-driving. I'll say that again. All Tesla cars being produced right now have everything necessary for full self-driving. All you need to do is improve the software.
However, the engineers have gravitated now toward the latest and greatest hardware, and they are developing there, which means that they have to now compress and reduce the size to fit it into Hardware 3. So that release is taking a lot more work, a lot more time to come out for the older vehicles. So while that is all great and everything, while we're probably gonna have to wait and we're taking the back seat a little bit with the new innovation with self-driving, what can be said is that it still will be capable. It's just not going to be able to accommodate as many parameters. The parameters allow it to operate a little bit more smoothly, a little bit more quickly in certain situations, and they are related entirely to the neural nets. Elon Musk then went on to say that if Hardware 3 is not sufficient enough, there would be a free hardware upgrade to the CPU. He did not mention anything about the cameras. He said the cameras are sufficient.
And we have designed the system to be upgradable. And it's really more just to switch out the computer type of thing. The cameras are, they're capable.
But the hardware itself for the CPU would be upgraded. So now the question is, we have been told all along that you cannot upgrade from Hardware 3 to Hardware 4 because the size difference, there's a lot of things that just it cannot with the heating capacity, because the newer computer, if it's jammed into that same small space, it's going to overheat, and there's actually cooling elements that need to be accommodated. So the physical design will not fit. So it's going to probably be like a Hardware 3.5, or what's even more likely is that when Hardware 5 comes out, that will be adaptable to the older cars, and that is my wish. I'm hoping that this happens way down the road, probably 2 to 3 years from now, where they realize that Hardware 3 needs a capability boost, and they're going to be releasing Hardware 5, and they're going to be allowing the upgrade. The upgrade will be free. You take it into the service center. I had a Hardware 2.5 car when I first received it in March of 2019, and then around June of 2019, that's when I was eligible, because I had purchased the full self-driving, that's when I was eligible to get the upgrade. They just swapped out my computer. Now what happens when you swap out the computer, and this was before they had the cloud profiles, is I would lose all of my settings inside of my car. So I think that's fixed now with the cloud profiles, but that was one downside of doing that in the past. Now the other conditions is what is free. I think it's only going to apply, there are going to be conditions, and people are saying, well, if it's free, that's a cost to Tesla and it's going to be enormous because there's 7 million Teslas on the road right now. Well, it's a fraction of those that have hardware 3, I'd say probably 70% or 80% or more of Model 3s and Model Ys and others that have hardware 3. However, out of those, it's even a smaller percentage that actually have full self-driving. So I think what's going to qualify is if you purchased full self-driving between 2019 and 2023, there's going to be some conditions on it. And I think also it's going to relate to original owner. Like you have to be the original owner of the vehicle. These are my guesses. It probably, I don't know, but it probably won't apply to somebody that's transferred FSD to another vehicle. There are going to be conditions like that that will also limit the cost to Tesla. And then for those others that still want to have the upgrade, but they don't particularly qualify, there is going to be a cost associated. That is how I think this is going to roll out, because the vast majority of the cars on the road today are hardware 3 vehicles. I am part of the early access group, so as soon as I get an update, we've been waiting for a while now. It's been about a month since we've had a release. As soon as I get it in my car, I will be driving and testing it, so stay tuned. I'll be doing a live video on X and also posting a video in downtown Chicago on my YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that, and if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing and definitely hit that like button and leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.